What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Simon Says. I don't have my glasses today. I was over at a friend's house and I took them off. I put them on a counter or something like that. And I guess when I left his house, I left my glasses there. So you're just going to get to see me do my thing. I'm heading to Walmart right now. But I wanted to give y'all this word as I ride, okay? So this is going to be some dating advice. Now, before I give y'all this advice, I just want to let y'all know I'm not a professional expert. I'm not someone who has game or nothing like that. However, all I simply do is I study what makes people who are in a successful relationship, what they do, and I try to, share that information with some of us who are kind of struggling, people who are in the process of succeeding or have succeeded. I try to take what they've done and, kind of share some of that information. I think one of the biggest issues that we have when we're dealing with people is we focus too much on little things. The reality is nobody is perfect. You're not going to find someone who has everything put together, right? Some people are still going to be a work in progress. Now some might be further ahead, but most people, really all people are going to be a work in progress. All right. And I think some of us, we attach ourselves to other people because we either find them really, really attractive. We've decided that we can connect with them, maybe not on the attraction level, but maybe there's something emotionally that we feel when we're around them, we draw closer to them, or maybe, if it's really superficial, they have something that we really want, and so we're in that relationship. For women, that might be money, and for guys, that just might be sex, But in these types of relationships, we in the beginning, it's all, what's it called? It's all roses, You really want to be with the person, and so you don't really look at their flaws. You don't really look at the things that you would pay attention to more if you weren't in pursuit of this individual, right? And so once you've gotten them, once you've been in that relationship, once you're with that person and all their flaws start to kind of come to light, once you really see them as they are, I think we start nitpicking. I believe a lot of us have this inaccurate idea that relationships are supposed to be just perfect. Like it's supposed, the person is just supposed to get you at every single time. They're supposed to just understand you. You don't have to talk about anything. You don't have to state anything. They should just understand who you are and how you feel at all times, right? And that's just not true. Even with couples who have been married for a very long time, like 40, 50, 60 years, they still communicate very well. They're still willing to tell each other what they need out of the other person because they understand that clear communication ensures success, or at the very least, it helps ensure success. But I think some of us, what happens, and I've seen this on a lot of these video trends like TikTok and whatnot, when you have these street interviews. And maybe the sample is kind of biased. It's a lot of young people who are just out to have some fun, some temporary fun. But when a lot of these women are asked, what's an ick that they find? Typically, these icks are very menial things. It's like, I don't like the way he dresses. I don't like the way he chews his food. I don't like the way he does X, Y, and Z. It's usually things that don't even affect the relationship at all. But these are things that a lot of women have chosen to focus on, to just fixate on. Like, he has to not do it this way. He can't eat this way. He has to eat that way. He can't walk this way. He has to walk this way. He can't listen to this type of music. It's like we want to try to make sure that the other person is perfect without ourselves being perfect. And, for guys, I think we're a lot more simple. But even then, I don't want to say I think we're more simple in the case of we don't ask women to be like the America's Next Top Model or whatever. But usually it's more like, you got to cook for me, you got to clean for me. There's one thing I used to, when I used to listen to a lot of the Red Pill videos and stuff like that, some guys would talk about how they would love for a woman to make them food at 2:00 in the morning. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? If that is something that your girlfriend or wife really wants to do, man, all power to you. But if you're coming home from an event and you're getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning, or you were out with your friends and you're getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're hungry and you call your girlfriend, wake her up out of her sleep, right? And you ask her to make you a 4-course meal to prove her love to you, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a jerk move, all right? She's trying to sleep. Take your behind to that kitchen or stop somewhere and get some food. Don't call her up at 2 in the morning asking, oh, can you make me some food? Just because I want you to show that you're a good woman. You know, type stuff like that. So I think sometimes both of us, both men and women, we focus on the smallest things when it comes to trying to attract the right partner or trying to have the type of relationship that we might want to have. So, you know, I think I've gotten a couple keys here, a couple tips I want to share with you guys. And, you know, the first thing I'm gonna just get out of the way is stop focusing on the small things. All right, there are certain behaviors that people will show you that can dictate whether or not the relationship will be a success. If you're with someone who has trouble being disciplined, and this means that they can't control themselves. You know, they don't have that impulse control. They whatever they feel like doing, they're gonna do it. Whether it hurts you or not, they don't care. They're just gonna do it because they feel it. If you're in a relationship with someone like that, that can cause a relationship to fail. If you're in a relationship with someone with a wandering eye who always feels like they have to be the center of attention, or they have to be the most desirable person, that's probably going to cause the relationship to fail, because there's going to be so much jealousy. There's going to be outside influences. You're going to feel like you have to compete for that other person's affection, even though you shouldn't have to compete, right? That's going to cause the relationship to fail. So number one is stop focusing on the small things. Let it go. All right, stop trying to nitpick and do these minor adjustments that really don't matter, right? Instead, focus on the things that truly matter. Like, again, if they have discipline, if there's someone who understands the value of commitment, and they're willing to respect your boundaries and you're willing to respect their boundaries as well, right? Focus on the traits that actually matter, that actually will affect the relationship if these behaviors are not present, right? Not whether or not she's going to cook you food at 2 in the morning, or if he wears a certain shirt that doesn't have the trendiest of styles. Okay. Number two, this is more so for the ladies. It is extremely hard today for a lot of guys to get to where they want to get to a point where they can just provide for a woman without ever having to have her work. You know, let's get it out of the way. There's a lot of women who talk about a man being a provider, and providing doesn't always mean luxury. We need to differentiate the two. Providing is not luxury. If you're asking for someone to come into your life and financially invest in you and just pay for your life, that's not providing. You're asking to be somebody's sugar baby. You're asking for luxury, and that's not most men. Most men are great guys who are trying to make their way through in this world, and eventually get to a point where you don't have to work, and he can take on that full burden of providing. He can get there, but it's gonna take some time, right? So be patient. Instead of sitting there telling him what he should and shouldn't do, find out what he is doing and see if you maybe can't throw a helping hand here and there, right? Because there's too many men in the world who are not going to be in the upper echelon of society, and there's too many women in the world asking for the few and elite men. So either way, a lot of people are going to be unhappy. So instead of us trying to ask for things that we know we're not going to get, be patient. Understand it takes some time for things to work out. Come up with a plan with the man that you're with, right? And say, hey, listen, if it takes 5 years, if we both of us gotta work in 5 years because there's a future that we want to work towards, and after those 5 years you can just be a stay-at-home wife / mom, cool. Be patient though, right? And let it work itself out. For the guys, this is like tip number 2B for the guys, right? For the boys, B for the boys, right? Understand that woman is not meant to be your servant. And I understand that as men, we can kind of get into that high and mighty role because we feel we're the protectors and we're the providers, that we should get that level of respect that is unwavering, unquestionable. She should never question us. She should never, ever doubt us, right? That is unrealistic. I'm sorry, but that is unrealistic. Understand that you are not perfect and you are going to make mistakes. And her role is not just to be someone who is responsible for you or helps you, but is also to keep you accountable. If you want a good woman, then you need to be open to letting that woman speak in your life and helping you course correct when you step out of line. Let go of that pride. If you're up there and you're a 6-figure man, 7-figure man, and you're living the best life, great. You've made it, but you've only made it in one aspect of life. Life is more than just finances. If you're a really attractive guy and you get all the hottest women, great. You've made it in one aspect of life. But relationships is more than just looks. So don't let whatever excellence you have distract you from the fact that there are other areas in your relationship that you need to address. All right? That's it, really. That's all I got. Anyway, guys, that's my word. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say. It was like 3 tips, but I separated tip number 2. A was for the women, B was for the boys. So there we go. Well, anyway, I hope this was understandable. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on another video. Deuces.